Welcome to ESL Listening Practice. I want you to just imagine your normal day for a second. You throw your favorite polyester hoodie in the wash, you grab a nice seafood dinner with a friend, and you drink a bottle of water.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a pretty standard Tuesday, right?
Exactly. Totally normal. But, well, during all of these everyday activities, there's actually something hiding in plain sight. Tiny, almost invisible pieces of plastic are quietly entering your body.
It is wild to think about. And for our listeners, let's define our first major vocabulary word right away: microplastics.
Yes, perfect. How would you explain that to, an intermediate English learner?
Well, the simplest way to picture it is to think of a single grain of rice. Microplastics are extremely small pieces of plastic that are usually much smaller than that grain of rice. Some you can't even see at all.
Right, and they are everywhere. So our mission for today is to practice your English listening skills while we figure out exactly where these tiny plastics come from.
Yeah, and we'll look at how they affect our bodies and, most importantly, what we can actually do about them.
So let's jump straight in. How are these things even made? I think people assume factories just produce them to be tiny.
Some are made that way, yeah. But actually, most microplastics are created naturally out in the environment.
Wait, naturally? Like from the weather?
Exactly. When larger plastic trash gets left outside, the sun, the wind, and the rain just beat down on it. Over time, all that weather breaks the big plastic items into millions of tiny pieces.
Oh, wow. Okay, but the weather is just one part of it.
Yeah.
Because there is a very surprising everyday thing causing this too, and it's our clothing.
Yes, our clothes. Which brings us to another great vocabulary word: synthetic.
Right. As an English teacher, how do you explain the word synthetic to someone?
It basically just means man-made. It's not natural. So think of fabrics like polyester, nylon, and acrylic.
Ah, okay. So cotton is natural, but polyester is synthetic.
You got it. And the problem is our washing machines. Every single time we wash these synthetic clothes, thousands of tiny plastic threads just break right off.
They break off in the water.
Yeah, they are called fibers. The spinning and the hot water pull them loose.
It's kind of like, it's like having a dog or a cat.
Okay.
Right. You know how a pet sheds hair all over the house?
That is a brilliant analogy, yes.
But with our clothes, these plastic hairs are so tiny that they are totally invisible.
Exactly. And because they are so small, that leads to a massive failure in our water systems.
Right, because, shouldn't our city water filters catch all that stuff before it goes into the rivers?
You would think so, but no. Most washing machines and city water treatment plants simply cannot filter out something this incredibly small.
They just slip right through the net.
They do. So they wash directly out of your house, into rivers, into the oceans, and eventually right into our food.
Okay, let's unpack this, because it's not just the ocean. Researchers are finding them in the most unexpected places.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah, I saw they found them in bottled water, in table salt, even in, fancy tea bags.
The tea bags always shock people.
It's crazy. And shockingly, it's even in the air. We are literally breathing plastic in.
Yeah, the wind carries that tiny plastic dust everywhere, which brings up a really important question.
Right. So what does this all actually mean for our health?
Well, scientists are definitely still researching the long-term effects, but early studies show that microplastics might carry harmful chemicals into our bodies.
And that causes problems.
Yeah, it causes something called inflammation. That's a great word for our B2 learners to practice. Inflammation.
How would you describe inflammation simply?
Think about a time you got a bad cut on your arm. The skin around it gets red, swollen, and really hot.
Oh, it's like it puffs up and hurts.
Exactly. That is your body's physical reaction to harm. It's fighting back. That's inflammation. And these plastics can cause that reaction inside our internal organs.
Well, let me just play devil's advocate here for a second, though.
Sure, go ahead.
If researchers don't know the full, long-term effects yet, is it really that big of a deal right now? Should we be panicking?
It's a fair question. No, we shouldn't panic. But there's a core concept in science called precaution.
Precaution, meaning being careful beforehand.
Exactly. Even without knowing the total absolute damage, we know it's not good. So reducing our plastic pollution is becoming more critical every single year just to be safe.
Better safe than sorry. Well, here's where it gets really interesting. Because there is a completely unexpected scientific discovery about how to fight this.
Oh, the South Korea study. This is my favorite part.
Yes, it involves food from South Korea, which means we need to learn a new word, fermented.
Fermented. Yes, this is a great food vocabulary word. Fermented foods are foods that have been changed by healthy, good bacteria over time.
Right, like yogurt, or in this case, kimchi.
Exactly. Kimchi is a traditional Korean dish made of fermented cabbage, and scientists found something amazing about it.
What did they find?
They discovered that certain healthy bacteria in fermented foods might actually help remove these harmful plastic chemicals from the human body.
Wait, really? How does that even work?
Basically, the good bacteria act like a sticky sponge inside your stomach. When the plastic releases bad chemicals, the good bacteria grab onto them.
Oh, wow. So they trap the chemicals.
Yes. They trap them, and then your body just gets rid of them naturally instead of absorbing them into your blood.
That is incredible. So eating kimchi just cures plastic pollution.
Well, no. I have to be very clear here. Kimchi is not a magical cure. A bowl of cabbage isn't going to dissolve a piece of plastic.
Right. That would be a little too easy.
Yeah. But it is incredibly exciting. It shows that traditional foods and natural bacteria could actually help protect our health from a modern man-made problem.
It's nature fighting back against our mistakes. I love that.
Exactly. But of course, we can't just rely on bacteria to save us. We have to change our habits, too.
Right, which brings me to my next question. What can you, the listener, actually do in your daily life to fight this?
Well, we talked about washing machines.
Yeah.
So a simple action is to choose clothes made of natural materials.
Like cotton or linen instead of polyester.
Exactly. And for the synthetic clothes you already own, just wash them less often. You don't have to wash a sweater every single time you wear it.
Oh, and I read you can also buy special laundry filters, right?
Yes, you can attach a special filter to your washing machine that actually catches those invisible fibers before they go down the drain.
That is such a smart idea. What else could we do?
We really need to avoid single-use plastics.
Single use. Let's make sure our learners understand that one.
Sure. Single-use means an item is designed to be used only one time, and then you just throw it in the trash.
Like a plastic grocery bag or a plastic straw.
Exactly. We need to swap those out for better things.
So easy swaps would be using a reusable water bottle or taking a cloth shopping bag to the store.
Yeah, and using glass food containers instead of plastic ones. Oh, and choosing filtered tap water instead of buying bottled water.
That makes a huge difference. But let me ask you a tough question here.
Okay, I'm ready.
Can one person using a cloth bag really fix a massive global problem like this? I mean, sometimes it feels a bit hopeless.
I totally understand why people feel that way. And the honest truth is, no, individuals cannot solve it alone. It's impossible.
Because the problem is just too big.
Right. To really fix the big picture, governments and massive companies must step up. They have to improve our recycling systems.
And create eco-friendly packaging, right? Stop making so much plastic in the first place.
Exactly. They need to invent better technology to filter waste at the factory level. But our individual choices still matter because they send a message to those companies.
We show them what we value.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So to sort of wrap things up for today, microplastics might be tiny, but they are clearly a huge problem.
They really are. They're in our oceans, our food, and even our bodies.
But by making small daily choices, like the clothes we buy and the water we drink, you can protect yourself. And learning this new English vocabulary step by step empowers you to stay informed.
It really does. And before we go, I want to leave our listeners with one final fascinating thought.
Oh, please do.
So we talked about how microscopic, healthy bacteria in fermented foods like kimchi are already showing signs of helping us process synthetic plastics, right?
Yeah, acting like that little net.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder, if simple bacteria are already figuring out how to deal with this, how else might human biology and nature be quietly adapting behind the scenes?
Wow. Like, are our bodies evolving right now to survive the plastic world we've created?
Exactly. It's a wild thing to think about. Nature always finds a way to adapt.
That is such an amazing thought to end on. Thank you all for joining us today for ESL listening practice.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Keep practicing your English, keep exploring the world around you, and we will catch you next time.